Ambulance is directed by Michael Bay and stars Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Isa Gonzalez. When an LA bank robbery goes south, two of the thieves must hijack an ambulance, taking both an EMT and an injured cop hostage. So, I'm not the biggest Michael Bay fan. I don't recall a lot of his films in his filmography that I really think are that great, or even movies that I legitimately liked. Outside of the one Bad Boys movie that he didn't direct, I don't think any of the Bad Boys films are really that much fun, in my opinion. And I was about to say that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films completely missed the mark on why that franchise is so enjoyable. And then I remembered the Transformers films and thought maybe I was being a bit too harsh on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. I mean, the Transformers films, in my opinion, got so bad that to this day, I still haven't even seen the last one. So even though I saw Ambulance get much better reviews than I've seen any Michael Bay movie get in a long time, I still went in more skeptical than I would for most movies. And did my skeptical nature pay off? Well, to be honest, the movie wasn't bad. I would just never see it again. Okay, so let's just get all of the good stuff out of the way before I start making people angry. First of all, the acting's actually pretty good. I mean, every single actor in this movie is a proven talent, so it would be weird if they gave bad performances. Yahya is really empathetic as the straight man who's wants to do as much good as possible, but he's just put in every single wrong situation there is. Isa does a good job portraying someone who is just naturally cold, but the job she's put in requires her to act more empathetic than she actually feels. And Jake Gyllenhaal is just putting his all into this performance. From both an emotional standpoint and a comedic standpoint, he is just so charming in this movie. Even though most of his dialogue is, let's just say, Sam Witwicky-ish from the Transformers films, he himself is extremely likable, even though technically he's the bad guy. All of the actors are good in the movie, and they all have legitimately good chemistry with each other. And my last big plus for the movie is the tension and suspense. Some of the scenes where our three main characters are in the ambulance and they're just trying to keep this one cop who just so happens to be with them alive and just stable, it actually got me sometimes. Just the shakiness of the shots in this ambulance and just how much emotion all of the actors are putting into this stressful as hell situation, it just makes you feel so... But oddly enough, that big plus of the movie also leads into one of my downs of the movie, the cinematography. Cinematography-wise and directing-wise, this is a Michael Bay movie for sure. You've got lens flares, shots of the sunset, swirling tracking shots of people just talking in one position, in one location. This type of stuff is Michael Bay's style, and I'm sorry, I just can't get into it. It's supposed to make everything feel more epic than it is, but all it does is make the movie look fake and frankly hard to see at times. Especially the action sequences, which are so quick cut and shaky, you can't get any sense of positioning with any of the characters or any one of their surroundings, and it just makes for action sequences that are more confusing than they are awesome. And maybe that problem could have been fixed if I cared more about the characters, but frankly, I didn't care about any of these people. Jake Gyllenhaal really has no motivation to do this robbery outside of just his father did it. Yahya is good in the movie, but his character of the vet who has no money even though he served his country and is forced to do all of these crimes, I'm sorry, it's just not original. We've seen robbery movies like this before. Wrath of Man from last year literally had an entire cast of the exact same character as the one he's playing in this movie. And yeah, Isa might have the most fleshed out character of the trio, but at the same time, she is the most stupid character out of the three of them. And by the halfway mark, after you've had so many action sequences and so many bits of legitimately good tension, you just get exhausted and you just sort of turn your brain off halfway through and just lean back in your chair like, yeah, there's a car chase. Oh, I hope nothing bad happens to the cop who I don't know. Oh no, there they go. Yeah. Yeah. It just becomes kind of exhaustive and repetitive after a while. Even after they introduce these sort of villainous characters in the beginning of the third act of the movie, it doesn't really add anything because you don't care about these characters and you don't care about the main characters that much either. So why care when the story has already exhausted you? I must be going through a mood this weekend because all of the movies that everyone's been loving, like Sonic and Ambulance, I just can't get into. Again, there are some good things in the film. The acting from every cast member is pretty good, and the sheer amount of suspense during the scenes inside the title vehicle is to be commended. But the characters weren't interesting, the action sequences were disorienting, the story was repetitive to the point of exhaustion, and the cinematography and editing were just unbearable at times. It's not a bad movie necessarily, and there were definitely times where I did get invested in some scenes. It's just that the whole I couldn't get invested in, and because of that, the some that I could get invested in just weren't enough to measure out. I'm going to give Ambulance a C-. Well guys, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below. What's your favorite Michael Bay movie? To be fair, I haven't seen Armageddon or The Rock, so I could be missing out on two of Michael Bay's actually best movies. But if I were to go off of my personal experience, maybe the first Transformers movie? But even then, I'm just going off of my old memory. I haven't seen that movie in a while, and that could just be nostalgia talking, but either way, currently, that's my truth. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are the best. And don't forget to click subscribe and click the bell icon down below. Stay up to date on all things movie, all things TV, all things nerd.